Welcome to Digital Toolbox. In this video we're going to go over material properties and a little bit more about the material editor and how to switch materials, change materials, and start editing the material properties to create your own. So below the material editor and the kind of palette of different materials is the material name, what type of material it is, and all the material parameters and properties. So if I click on this red one that I made the maroon material, you can see it's an Arc and Design mental ray material. These other ones are similar as well. This one's glass. So here's a basic standard material, 09. So this is the material name that I could edit and make sure that I know what material it is. It's a glass material. Maybe that's what I want it to be glass. So I can come down here and see the different properties. Here's shader basic parameters, what kind of like shadow it gets on it, the basics parameters for that, so that the blend type of shadow, these different algorithms for how it gets the light, how the light hits the object. So this is all standard material. Different material types will have different parameters and different properties you can attribute to them. So they're all kind of good and bad for different reasons. I'll click on the standard button over here, and that's just the name of the material type. So open up the material map browser. This has all the materials that are installed on your computer and any possible different ones you could want, and then you can select one and then edit it from there as a type of template. So under standard, this is just the standard one that you're using. You could select architectural. That might be a little bit more up our alley. Also mental ray, if you have that, it has more mental ray specific materials that really kind of take advantage of the MR algorithms. If I decrease that, you can see that there's different Autodesk material library, if that's installed, and scene materials and sample slots. So scene materials has exactly what's in your scene, so you can see I only have 3 materials in my scene right now, that kind of glass, and then the gray and the white one. You can see if you hover over it, it'll tell you all the objects that it's on, so that's great. If you have a material in your scene but you copied over it or something on your material editor, you can just go ahead and grab it from right here. And then also sample slots, exactly what's up in your in the material editor up here. So good things to know. The materials, say if I want to switch this, I don't want to use a standard one, I'll use the architectural one. So I'll click on that and say OK. And then my parameters kind of refresh. And you can see that the material's changed a little bit. So it's still called glass material, it's still in the same spot. That would update with objects in my scene, but now it's an architectural material. So here the architectural materials have different templates. You can set a template user defined or whatever kind of custom thing you want. But template might be good for this. So here's glass clear or glass translucent. So metal also is decent, and different ones like that. So just go ahead and say glass clear, and here you can start editing the color of it if we want to give that a different tint. The color selectors looks the same for all of them pretty much. Has this kind of rainbow box over here, and then also RGB values on the right, and HSB as well. So say we want it a little bit like that. Okay. Go up here if I want to see it on that background. Here's the reflection. That's kind of what you're going to see as far as it reflecting, and then you can go ahead and go through all these different properties, and they all have different effects. diffuse map, shininess, transparency, translucency. So these also can have maps put onto them, so you can click on where it says none over here, and then there's a whole slew of maps. You can add your own bitmap. Lots of technical things you can do. There's a whole bunch here. This one's dropped out, physical qualities. It's the kind of basic for the architectural standard materials. And then there's a whole range of things: special effects, advanced lighting overrides, how it samples things, DirectX Manager, Mental Ray as well. So also the Mental Ray, the Arc and Design materials for Mental Ray get into some really fine tuning for different rendering styles too. So this is the basic overview for how to select material, type of material, a template, and start editing your own materials.